Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for the 10th in our series of lockdown podcasts, exploring colour astrology for the month of June. I can't believe we are at our 10th already. I just don't know where this time has gone.
Oh, me too, Laura. I'm starting to forget what our beautiful studio looks like. Unfortunately, as I'm sure you're all aware by now, we're unable to film in our studio due to the lockdown. So once again, we've had to improvise. Let me introduce ourselves. I am Debbie, the floristry half of our duo. Welcome.
And I am Laura, the IT half of our flowery duo. And in our previous podcast for June, Debbie, we've explained what Aspen Gold says about you if you are a June baby and how the colour gold helps to stimulate the brain, helps to increase intelligence and mental agility. Now, as this is our fifth arrangement in our series, it covers a simple vase design. So what are we going to make today, Debbie?
So today, Laura, with the actual addition of pictures, as well as our description of each step of the design, we hope to inspire you to have a go at making this arrangement yourselves. We're going to describe how to create a semi-crescent punch bowl arrangement.
Right, so let's get started. Grab that cup of coffee and explain to our followers how we're going to begin. So let's start with what we need for the design. Obviously, we're going to use our normal floristry toolkit, and as you mentioned in the title, I'm assuming we're going to be using a punch bowl. What else do we need to use?
Well, absolutely. As well as those, our sundry items for this design are chicken wire or copper mesh and stub wires for the mini gerbras. So I'd usually recommend a 71mm by 360mm wire, stub wire for this. And our fresh products are Erimuris, or you might know it as foxtail lily actually, mini gerbera Del Monte, which are pre-wired.
And you can visit our YouTube channel for a video showing how to do this. Sometimes a visual explanation is much clearer than a verbal. But carry on, Debs, what else are we going to be using?
That's so true. We also have Rose Lemon Finesse, Cresspedia, Achilles Parker variety. So all of these are in our Aspen Gold palette, but I'm also going to add some Salix Willow to give a natural feel to the design and some Viburnum opulus because I love the lime green colour tone and it acts as a good contrast to the gold.
I completely agree. I absolutely love that beautiful lime colour of the viburnum. The flowers we have today have already been conditioned as usual and are placed on the bench in their individual varieties, so it's easy to see what we are using. So how are we going to start the arrangement, Debbie?
So to start with, we're going to manipulate the mesh or chicken wire, whichever you're using, and place it into the bowl. Now don't squash it, the mesh or the chicken wire too tightly, as you actually need sufficient space to feed the flower stems through.
Then obviously you fill the container with water. Would you recommend adding flower food to the water to extend the shelf life?
Actually, that's a really good question, Laura. I probably wouldn't on this occasion, as the ions in the metal can actually react with the flower food and therefore nullify the benefits. If possible, I'd try and change the water daily if you can to keep the flowers as fresh as possible for as long as possible.
It's actually a really good tip. So what flowers do we start with?
So we're going to start with the Erimuris or the foxtail lily.
I remember when using Eramuris before, they are phototropic, so bend towards the light. As with stocks or antirrhinums, I assume you have to bear this in mind when using them.
Yeah, that's true. They may be really lovely and straight when you start the arrangement, but you may well have curved stems the following day.
And I think that the curves just add a softer feel to the arrangement, don't you agree?
I do agree, yeah, definitely. So next we're going to add the Salix Willow, and this will actually help to reinforce the shape and add natural interest to the arrangement.
So do you add the roses next as almost like the focal flower?
Yeah, Yeah, I would actually. So the roses probably in this case are going to be the flowers that you want to highlight in the design. The gerbers, however, are a much brighter gold colour, so I'm going to use those beside the roses in almost like a recessed position to showcase the roses.
Now, I know the viburnum is one of your absolute favourites, Debbie, so I'm not surprised you've included it in the arrangement today. How are you going to use it in this design?
Actually, I had viburnum opulus in my wedding bouquet, so yeah, that's probably why I use it in everything when I get the chance. The lovely drape of the blooms placed really low and hanging over the edge of the bowl help to give a visual weight to the design. I'm then going to add the achillea, which has that really rich, wonderful, deep, bright gold colour to it. I'm going to add that really low into the design to give recession.
That makes sense. So, well, that only leaves us with the Craspedia, which will add further interest to the design. Sorry, that's just my puppy in the background having a good bark. I like the contrast between the shapes and the textures. Why have you chosen this container, Debs? And are there any other containers that would be suitable for this design?
So if you were to use a neutral container, it would show off vibrant flowers rather than competing and dominating the design. I chose to use the gold or the copper punch bowl today as I felt it gave it a real regal feel to the design. You could, however, use an urn or anything really that has a small pedestal base and a kind of wide bowl to it.
And the beauty of using a nice container like this is that it could be reused multiple times. Where would this be suitable for?
So the gold colour palette used in this arrangement is a perfect colour for communication. It helps you articulate and encourages inspiration. So this would make a perfect welcome to a seminar or inspirational speech. It's loose and textured and a full design, so it's not too formal. So it welcomes delegates in a relaxing way and helps aid mental agility.
Actually, it would also look lovely in a home environment too. I can imagine sitting happily on a dresser at home, and that colour palette may even help with the lockdown brain. I think that's a thing.
It most certainly is for me, Laura.
I agree. Well, that draws our 10th lockdown podcast to an end and completes our colour astrology for June. Now, I hope you have all enjoyed it and it's inspired you to have a go yourself. So, what's next for our colour astrology series, Debbie?
Well, next up, Laura, it's the month of July. Can you believe that?
No.
July already. So June, July, we'll be exploring the colour Coral Blush. Such a beautiful, subtle, delicate colour and so in vogue for weddings.
So much so, it's such a popular colour. I certainly look forward to that. So to everyone, thank you for joining us today. We look forward to welcome you back again very soon. And it's goodbye from me.
And until the next time, it's goodbye from me. Stay safe and keep well. Bye.